welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nala B, and here I am with the live stream. I really was thinking about uploading a video today. Like, as soon as I got home, I was like, I want to yap and I want to upload a video, which I was going to do. But then I was like, wait, there's live streaming, so I could just do live stream. So here I am. I got off work early today and I started listening to some voice notes from some friends. Um, and I asked them the question, what has made your life easier since being in your 30s? And two people have responded so far. And by their responses, it made me start reflecting on all of the 20s that I've been living. And yeah, this is my last year, honey. I turned 30 October 31st this year, 2026. And the main thing that stood out to me from what both of those friends of mine shared is that they are more bold, more fearless, and they listen to their gut, they listen to their intuition. And that is what I want to step further into as I continue to grow in this life, is just listening to my gut, following my heart, honoring my intuition, and taking it less seriously. I feel like the beginning of my 20s, yeah, there was a serious bone in my body for sure. Like there were things that I would say serious about, but life as a whole, I don't think had a serious tone, if that makes sense. Like, it was very lighthearted and carefree and free spirited, and I still have parts of me in that way, but I feel like right now the tone of life feels very serious because it's like, okay, you're turning 30, and so what does that mean for your savings? What does that mean for your career? What does that mean for your living? Like, the shit that we could get away with when we was like 20s, of course in our teens, we don't, society is less forgiving about, or we ourselves towards ourself is less forgiving of. And what I mean by that is, if I'm choosing to, like, I don't know, these are just my thoughts though. These are and as I'm saying it out loud, I'm realizing, like, these are just social constructs that are made up, and it almost sounds silly coming out of my mouth, but for an example, um working a job rather than a career, right? Serving at 30, or grocery bagging at 30, moving in with parents, moving, like, having roommates at 30, um not having any partner, or romantic companion at 30, um not having a certain amount of savings at 30, like stuff like that. It's just, there's a social narrative where, if you're in your early 20s and you're, of course, a teenager, I'll just stick to the early 20s and shit, then that's more likely to be expected of you. Like, of course you're supposed to live with your parents or have roommates. Of course you're supposed to start off serving or bartending, or of course you're supposed to da 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 da. But um I know that all of that is made up in my head, and because I am turning 30, there is this serious tone of, like, okay, how do I set myself up in ways that capitalism does not crush me, you know, but also in ways, most importantly, that I do feel connected to my carefree, free spirited side. Like, what is the setup that's going to grant me that sense of freedom, but also that sense of security, And I'm finding that out in real time. I'm figuring out what really matters to me, what I actually care about, because I was just journaling about how I personally don't find my identity in my work. I don't. And I know I was just talking about the whole grocery bagging and serving and da 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 da. But I recognize very clearly that all that hoopla is from the outside world, you know. I don't really find it, I don't find the most interesting thing about a person to be like their accolades or how many uh letters they have behind their name, how many presentations they've given, how many workshops you know, I don't find that the most interesting about the person. I'm most interested in like the life that they live, in the way that they have learned about the world, in the way that they've um, made community in this world, in the way that they've learned about themselves through their experiences. Like, I find that most interesting. Like, what are people's views, you know, in today's world, you know? What do people do in their free time? What do they like to learn about? What has sparked their curiosity lately? What are they talking to people about? That's what I find most interesting about a person, not necessarily all of the um, accolades and the achievements and accomplishments. Like, those things are great, obviously, because we we be doing great shit as humans. Like, that's what's up. And also, I know how easy it is to just kick in auto mode, and you're just like doing shit without your heart in it. You're doing shit because that's what you think you're supposed to be doing. You're doing it so it can be added to your resume. You're doing it so that it can sound nice to others. You're doing it so that it can be presented in front of an audience of others. But I'm more interested in the things that I want to look into, and that makes my heart sing when nobody is watching. You know, like, what really makes my heart sing? What really defines Nala? You know, what really shapes me and my personality? Because it's not those accolades and those achievements, you know? So that's what I'm finding out in real time, that, you know, though work is important, you know, us literally making money to be able to house ourselves and meet those hierarchy of needs, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's important. And then on top of that, to have some sense of like intentionality in having a positive impact on people around you, like, that's important. And I think that's meaningful. And also, I know that it's not all of me. I know that it's not what I actually dream about. Like, I dream about connecting with all kind of humans around the world and learning about lifestyles and concepts and realities that I didn't know existed, because you only really get to encounter them through the experience of life. You know, I'm interested in the magic of this world, and I think that it takes interacting and engaging with it in real time in order for that to be experienced. So that's what I'm interested in, you know. And in my 20s, I did a lot of experimenting and a lot of exploring, and I was a party gal. Still am a little bit of a party gal because I love to dance. Um, I was also like, there was like this level of courage, you know, courageousness, like boldness, where I was watching one of my vlogs and I was over there like interviewing strangers, you know, like I haven't done that in a while where I've been like, hey, could you say something to my camera? You know, would you be open to being in my vlog? I'm wondering about XYZ and the third, and I think it would be really cool if I did that again, you know. I also found that my mindset, baby, was just unstoppable. Like early 20s Nala was like, yeah, there's shit going on in the world. Like, yeah, you know, she may have had her times where, you know, rent was due and she was worried about how she was gonna get it. But ultimately there was this tone of like, I got it. Like if it's up here, it's done, it's dealt with, and it's taken care of. And abundance is my source, abundance is my address, you know. And that's really the space that I want to go back into fully, and devote myself to, so that I can really be a living vessel for all positive potential to be born, you know, because there's a lot in me that I know has been planted in me. And I just don't want it to go. I don't want it to go to rest. You know, I want it to be awakened and spread and shared. You feel me? So yeah, like as of now, you know, message to myself in my 30s. I've been thinking about 35-year-old Nala a lot. I've been thinking about 5 years from now a lot. And, you know, right now, girl, we're in Atlanta. We're in a tiny home, a sanctuary, a little cottage that is just for me, you, myself, and I. We are kind of dating, not really a priority. However, our heart is longing, our heart is interested. And so I see myself at 35 with my life partner, with a beautiful, beautiful companion inside and out, a man, a black man who loves life, has a reverence for the spirit of life, and also loves women as a sense of honor, like knowing that he comes from women, not like a ladies man, you feel me? But also he is family oriented and stuff like that. There's so much that I still don't know, like what I'll be, who I'll be, where I'll be at 35. But I just know that there are things that I'm just not gonna settle for, and my desired companion is one of them. Also, my lifestyle of rest and leisure and adventure, I'm not settling for that. Uh it's a reason, you know, for my living today. It is a will to live now, so that is never going to fold. I will forever be a solo traveler, or just like a traveler in general. And um yeah, like so much, I don't know. But girl, at 35, like I hope we have a nice fat savings account for like emergencies and like retirement, and just being able to like live off of type of stuff. And then also an account that is for investing into stocks and trades and stuff like that, so that our money is making money. And I also can see you, me, us being that resource, like I've been saying, where people call up and they're like, broop, 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 we need Nala, because this corporate office has not been prioritizing self-care. There's burnout, you know, going around in the building, and we need a reset. And I want to be the person, or a person, not the person, not the only one of the people that come into the corporate office spaces and really help them embed human care, human care, human nourishment, um, total, total body nourishment. Yeah, mental nourishment. I'm like getting all the words out. Mental nourishment, and emotional care as a annual mandatory training for staff members, because people are losing themselves, people are losing their sense of like vigor for life, people are losing their childlike interest and joy, people are losing their health, people are losing their lives, all out of their commitment and their relentlessness towards work and achieving something or producing because their life depends on it, or because they're a high achiever, or because that's what they feel like they should be doing. And I want the message of a reset for the mental and the emotional to be something that is a part of our culture, that is a normal element to the recipe of a successful business and a successful team, a supportive team, because that is what I know I could use more of, and of course, you do it at home, you do it away from work, and also like because so much of our work, because of the system that we live in, is at the center of our life, we need to also combine that. We need to also embed that as a natural lifestyle of mental and emotional nourishment in a community based environment, amongst others, So I don't need to go on a little rant around that, even though I already did. But yeah, child, wow. She's turning 30, and, ooh, I also hope to, like, find that I crave validation from myself and not from others, I hope that I find enjoyment, more enjoyment in my body, more enjoyment in my skin. I hope that I continue to find the intricate beauties, all over me. Because yeah, it's a thing, like being a woman, being a black woman, a natural black woman, dark skin, I don't have like this, what is that word called? When it's just like when you could just like spend it. What is that word called? Damn, I don't remember the word. Whatever, bro. When you, I don't have just like crazy money to be like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and do the, and there's like so much in the world today as far as like how you look. There's so much in the world today going on where like, I know it's always been a thing, but I feel like nowadays, like the way you look is such like the center focus of who you are, and I really think it can be a poison. And yeah, by 35, I know that I'll find it beautiful to be in my skin no matter what time of the day, no matter what environment that I'm in, you know, because it's more than skin deep, you know, it's beyond that. It's my spirit, it's my soul, it's my essence that I am in connection with, that makes me feel beautiful, you know, that makes me feel seen, that makes me feel real, and that makes me feel like I know who I am. Not just by how I look or how I can adorn myself, and not just by the compliments that I receive from others, but being connected to my essence and knowing who I am because of that. That making me beautiful, that illuminating me, that giving me my inner spotlight, you know? So yeah. Wow. I'm gonna go take a nap now, but I really like this. I think I'm gonna do this again because, you know, this is what this channel has always been for. This is what this channel is. It's like, it is a living video diary, you know? It's been with me for a while. It's a video diary series, you know, and I want to continue to use it as I explore, as I connect, as I remain curious and process this thing called life from the inside out. So that's what I'll do. I'll see y'all next time. Until then, as I used to say, stay beautiful. Wait, no, I used to say, stay positive, stay beautiful, and stay blessed. Yes. Peace.